Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this is part 2 on my journey of rib slash pillar molded glass. I'm gonna do carafes, yeah. So I'm gonna do 2 more parts. I'm gonna do jugs and decanters as well. So yeah, so carafes, I have a few and I'm going to show you. I'm going to include gills in these. I've got a gill to show you. It's not very molded, but it's got some, and I think that counts because it fits in with what's in the book as well. So yeah, so what else have I got to say? No, so with that said, let's get on and have a look at the glass that I have. So this is the first carafe I'm going to show you. It's the one you've seen already in part 1 that I used to demonstrate. I believe this is more your pillar as opposed to ribbed molding, because these are right next to each other, just like on the pillar cutting. And I believe this is an attempt to copy the look of pillar cutting. So basically it's doing it on the cheap. Yeah, it has got a really bad problem. Someone has done something inside it. I think they've tried to polish it with some sand. I've actually tried to get it professionally cleaned, and it's actually not as bad as it was, believe it or not. So but I only paid like about £2 for it or something, and it's quite a rare thing. So yeah, it's from about 1820 or 30. So yeah, it's quite nice, apart from the fact that it's a wreck. I mean, you could use it as a vase, I suppose, because it's not really recoverable as such. I've tried really hard, and yeah, it's a no-go. So this is the next one I'm showing you. It's another guest decanter. Yeah, these small ones are called guest decanters. You just have a glass that would go over the top of it. Yeah, it's got pontle mark polished out, so it's quite a nicely made thing. 2 neck rings. I think this is probably a little bit later than the new one, so this is more like your 1830s, 40s kind of thing. Maybe a bit later than that, maybe 50s, but I don't think it's much later than that. It is uranium glass. It positively blasts out. You can almost see it glowing in the light that's shining on it now. One of the problems with carafes is that they do get a lot of dust in the bottom of them, and yeah, and I'm not going to clean everything just for this film. So yeah, it's quite a nice thing, and it's kind of like a prelude to the bell-shaped decanters that you see as well, and some of those have cutting as well, like this. So with that said, let's move on and come forward in time a little bit. Looking at the catalogue for Sowerby from 1885. I've downloaded this from the Victorian Press glass, I should say, website, and I've downloaded several from them. Now I have catalogues going back into the 1870s, and this is the first time it appears in 1885. Also note there's some other ones now, how different levels of ribbing, and the base is different. This one down here, this glass looks like it ribbed, and this glass looks like it might be ribbed as well. But anyway, you can see this glass here is like I was showing you with that other carafe that I had. And yeah, here's the 2 double sort of like split neck ring, whatever you want to call it, but it's at the base of the neck here. But they made this for a long time to demonstrate. This is 1885, and I just kind of like went through every single one. It reappears. The other ones disappear, but it reappears in 1895, then in 1898, then in 1907, and all the decanters around it are all changing, but this one is sticking with it, and it's there in 1912. So yeah, I suspect this was made right up to World War One. Interesting didn't realise that. So some of these moulded ribbed decanters and things might be later than I thought. But anyway, this is how long that decanter, that carafe was made for. 1885 to 1912, which is 27 years, which is a good long time. So yeah, watch out for those ones. This is a really good source because yeah, it's got everything that they made, and you see lots of common stuff that you will find because obviously these guys are mass producers. But anyway, this is a really good source. I recommend you go to the Victorian Press Glass website, and I will put a link in for it. So this is the last piece I'm going to show you, and it's got the I wanted to really show you this piece. I actually have a pair, but they're not quite the same, but I think they are a pair or from a set. They're gels because they've got this measure here, so they are a measure of what, I'm not sure exactly, but they are. And yeah, and it's pillar molding, but it's very light, and it's at the base. And these are quite thick. These are definitely hotel wear. Look at the quality of the glass. Look at all the, I don't know if I can get it. Look at all those bubbles and bits of crap in the glass. Yeah, not genius glass making there, but they're there to churn it out. But what these do have is this classic neck collar that you see on the decanters. So these are, I mean, the decanters are supposed to be from pubs, bars and inns, and the fact that it's a gel means it is from that, but it's still got this classic optic collar. And I have a book reference for this. This book is The Decanter, Ancient to Modern by Andy McConnell, and here it is. This is exactly the same as what we were looking at, with the pillar moulding around the base and the measure. The date he's got for this is 1870, which I think is probably in the middle of when it's from. I think the dates he's given on here is 1870 to 90 bar measures on this line here, but yeah, I'm happy with 1870. So there it is, and yeah, there will be others, and always watch out if you see a little tiny carafe like this. Look out for this line, because that means it is a measure and was for use in bars and pubs, etc., etc. So there we have it, pillar moulded and ribbed carafes. I don't have any full-size ones, not seen any in fact, so I suspect they're always going to be guest ones, especially if they're kind of like, they're using them in bars, you know, the ones with the ribs, especially where ribs are where they're spaced out. I suspect they're always for bars, and they're probably not just going to use like a huge big one. They're just going to keep pushing them out for people. Anyway, there's two more parts. I think I'll do decanters next. Save the best for last because I've got some really nice jugs to show you. Yeah, and the references I've used will be in the description below, so please keep watching, and thank you. Oh, and please remember to like and subscribe if you do want to keep seeing my videos. And yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, watch out for the next video. It'll be coming soon. Thank you. Good night.